say you train hard, but are you really pushing it? Most people walk into the gym, lift the same weights, do the same reps, sweat a little, post a story, and leave thinking they crushed it. But let me ask you something. Did you truly give it your all today? Your progress is stuck. Your physique isn't changing. Your strength hasn't improved. You keep training, but nothing happens. If you want to understand what it really means to train hard and what science says about it, stay with me until the end. The problem lies in the actual intensity of your training. It's no use just being there, lifting weights and repeating movements. If you've been doing the same load for months, this is a clear sign that the stimulus is not sufficient. In resistance training, the load is a crucial factor, and another factor is how close you get to muscle failure with that load. It's not necessary to train to failure in every set, as this can harm your training volume and hypertrophy in the long term. However, the closer you get to failure, the more motor units and muscle fibers are recruited, and this generates a greater adaptive stimulus for muscle growth. Without this stimulus, the muscle doesn't receive the signal to adapt. And there's more. If your exercises are done without real mechanical tension, that is, without the muscle being under constant and controlled load, you simply won't cause growth. So, without progress, without increasing the load, without failure, and without mechanical tension, how can you expect results? Working has become routine, and the worst part is, you don't even realize that this is happening. So far, we've talked about the clear signs that your workout may be too shallow. But what makes this so complicated is that deep down you believe that you're trying hard, that you're giving it your all. And that's the biggest lie you can tell yourself. The human brain is a master at finding shortcuts. It hates discomfort and always looks for the easiest way. And that's exactly what happens in the gym. Your body and mind try to stop before you reach your real limit. You stop the set when the pain starts to appear, when the muscle starts to burn, or simply when the number of repetitions you've programmed is over. And your brain automatically says, "That's it. Mission accomplished. You can rest." But is that really the case? Imagine if I told you that, under extreme pressure, like a real threat, you could do 3, 4, or even 5 more repetitions than you do now. That's where the truth lies. The effort you feel today is just a fraction of what your body is capable of. In one study, men who worked out at the gym told researchers how much weight they typically used to do 10 reps on the barbell bench press. Then, they went into the lab to see how many reps they could do with that same weight, while being encouraged by the researchers to get as close to failure as possible. On average, these men managed 5 to 16 more reps than they normally did. None of them did less than 10. These recent data suggest that the RPE scale, the scale of perceived exertion, or a subjective measure of how hard you did your set and how close to failure you got, may not be so accurate, especially if you're new to the gym. This kind of perception takes time to develop, but even then, most people don't train hard enough. About 40% of people train with an RPE between 4 and 6, which is far from what's needed to stimulate hypertrophy. Real discomfort is what drives change, and pain and muscle failure are clear signs that you are pushing your limits. If you stop before that, you are comfortable. And comfort does not build muscle. It does not generate results. So this lie that you have already given everything is the greatest enemy of your progress. Now that you understand how much you might be fooling yourself, it's time to clarify what training hard really means. And spoiler alert, most people never even come close to it. Training hard isn't just about lifting the heaviest weight you can or doing a bunch of sets on autopilot. It goes much deeper. Training hard means pushing your muscle to failure, to the point where it can't complete one more rep with the correct technique. This requires more than strength. It requires absolute focus, control, and a commitment that goes beyond the physical, hitting the mental hard. In addition, heavy loads alone are no guarantee of intense training. You need to control the time under tension. That is, keep the muscle contracted for a period long enough to cause real stimulation. And there's more. Advanced techniques like rest pause, drop set, and pre-exhaustion are tools that further intensify your training, pushing the limits of ordinary effort. If you've never felt your muscles trembling, your breath coming in short gasps, and the burn that lasts all the way to the end, you're probably still a long way from a real hard workout. The truth is harsh but liberating. Hard training is uncomfortable, it's painful, and it requires you to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. If not, rest assured, you're just moving, not improving. So far, we've talked a lot about perception and sensation, but does science back all of this up? The answer is an absolute yes, and studies show that you probably stop well before your actual limit. Research on muscle hypertrophy indicates that most people think they're training to failure, but in fact they keep a certain number of repetitions in reserve. This RIR can vary from 3 to 5 repetitions for many people, which means that you still have a good reserve of energy and strength, but decide to stop before, without stimulating your muscle to its limit. And this is the fatal error. In order for the muscle to grow, it needs to be taken close to or to failure. That is, when there is no longer any way to complete a repetition with correct technique. Without this, there is no strong enough signal for your body to understand that it needs to adapt, strengthen, and grow. So stopping too early is a mental and physical trap that keeps your body in the same place. Training needs to be uncomfortable to generate results. And science proves that comfort is the enemy of evolution. Now that you know what it means to train hard, it's time for the final test. Are you really doing it? Check out this straight-to-the-point checklist. Do you increase the weight frequently, or have you been stuck at the same weight for months? This increase can be as small as 5 or 10 pounds. Progress is progress. Do you get close to muscle failure, that last rep that almost doesn't come out? Do you maintain tension in the muscle throughout the set, without resting in the middle of the movement? Do you perform the exercises with perfect technique, without swinging or laziness? Do you use techniques to intensify, such as drop sets or rest pause? Do you feel the intense burn and deep fatigue in the muscle? If the answer to any of these points is no, you are not really training hard. Training hard requires courage and discipline to go beyond what is comfortable. It is this effort that makes the difference between just training and truly improving. It's time to turn everything we've said into practical action, here and now, in your training routine. First, choose a basic exercise. It could be squats, bench presses, or rows. The important thing is that it's a movement that you're technically proficient in. Before you start, set a weight that will allow you to do between 6 and 10 repetitions until muscle failure. If you can do more, increase the weight. As you do it, control the movement. Go down slowly, feel the muscle stretching, and go up hard, concentrating the tension where it should be. Get to the point where the last repetition is almost impossible, the one that forces you to squeeze everything out. Use techniques like rest pause. Do it until failure, rest for 10 seconds, and try a few more repetitions. This increases the stimulus and forces your muscles to react. Another tip, drop sets. After your last set, reduce the weight by 20 to 30% and do more reps to failure. These strategies are great for increasing your training volume and are your ticket to getting out of your comfort zone and into the real heavy lifting. Remember, it's not just about lifting weights, it's about pushing your muscles to their limits. Training hard isn't just a physical issue, it's a constant mental battle. The pain, discomfort, and fatigue are real, but what weighs most heavily is the urge to give up that pops into your head. That's where motivation makes all the difference. You need to train with a clear purpose, a goal that goes beyond the mirror. It could be health, overcoming, or that transformation you've always wanted. Discipline comes when motivation wavers. It's what keeps you going on the tough days. Training hard requires you to master this mind, to embrace discomfort as part of the process. When the urge to quit hits, remember, that's exactly where evolution happens. Without this mental strength, the body will never reach its full potential. We've reached the end, but the real beginning is yours. Now you know that training hard isn't just about lifting weights, but also about pushing your limits, both physical and mental. You've already understood the signs of superficial training, the lie you tell yourself, and the importance of muscle failure. There's science proving that stopping too early hinders progress and a checklist to evaluate your training. You've also seen practical examples to apply today and learned that your mind is your greatest ally or enemy. The next step is up to you. The The transformation you want requires courage, focus, and determination to go beyond what's comfortable. It's no use just wanting to. You have to take action. And if you really choose to train hard today, your results will prove that it was worth it. If you liked this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This helps the channel grow and bring quality information to more people. See you in the next video.